not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth. You know how sometimes you'll see on TV the Mormons will put out the television commercials in the Super Bowl, whatever, and invite you to get a copy of the Bible and the Book of Mormon or something like that. We need to put these verses on all the Bloomberg channels and all the other finance channels. We need to put this on. Right, if they say the Dow is setting a record low today, we'll be back right after this as we find out how to jump out of a window. And then we need to have this verse come up here. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth. Why? Because moth can get to them. And no matter how shiny they are, rust can reach it. And guess what? I don't care how much you got it invested, a thief can get a hold of it and steal it. But what should you be doing? You should be laying up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there shall your heart be also. Now this is important now. See, you know, when you get to this place here, abundance, there's a lesson. Here's the lesson. Extra has a purpose. Extra has a purpose and a priority. Extra has a purpose and a priority. The purpose and priority of extra in order is this: kingdom rich, others rich, self rich. And listen, it is in that order. And the reason you're able to do this is you already learned how to be content here. You've already learned to tell yourself no. God is my source. I can tell my flesh no. Now I've got extra. What am I supposed to do? This extra has a purpose. I know it's self-rich, kingdom rich, in other ways. No, it's got a priority. Its riches are for all of these, but you got to do them in this order. Jesus says, look, before you invest it in a market that can fall down, make sure first investment is in my kingdom. Why? Because one day, Lehman and his brothers. One day, Wachovia might not be able to watch over you. You might not have AIG, you might need IAM. I am. And Jesus is like, oh, did you honestly think you could keep it here? Where people could buy bad stuff? I mean, here's what's happening in a nutshell, all right? I'm Joe Mortgage Person. Houses are going for 50% more than they're worth. And everybody's freaked out and buying. Now, you can go back, when was it, 2005, when I did the Pathways thing? I told people in 2005, I said, don't buy a house. Rent. Don't buy a house, rent. They said, Pastor, don't buy a house. Rent. That's the stupidest thing ever. Rent. Well, I can sell my house now for $50,000 more than it's worth and go pay more for another house that's not worth that either. Hold up. No, this is Alva time, Pastor. I'm going to get me a house. Listen, what's your credit? It's not very good. I get you. I got you. How much money you make? Pastor, we make mortgage man, we make $4,000 a month. How much have you pre-committed? $3,000 a month. So you're 75% committed? Yeah, I can make something happen. And so they went out and told you for 700 of that extra 1,000, they could get you a house. And they did. Now, at the table, they said, yeah, I didn't really tell you that. The closing down. The only way I was able to get you this is if you agree that, if things get bad, we'll be able to charge you a little more. But we have no reason to expect that. And this and that. You like the house, don't you? Your emotions are in now. Yeah, I guess. Like Pastor says, God is our source. Yeah, okay, see? You just picked out a convenient lesson for that time, but I also told you, you know what, maybe where we are is okay. But now emotions cause you to violate the laws of wise decisions. So now, mortgage man has all these contracts. This is a contract from Jimmy Naive, who says he's agreed to pay $700, and in 6 months it could go to $900, and in another 6 months it could go to $1,200, and we can take this thing all the way up to $1,700. And this is Jane didn't know, and Jane didn't know. She's got the same thing, and Johnny Walk by Faith we got the same thing. And now companies are looking and they're talking about, we should invest in something. And Joe Mortgage Man said, okay, well, I'll tell you what. If Joe Walked by Faith and Jane didn't know and Jimmy Walked by Faith, whatever. If they end up honoring these contracts, these things could be worth for a $100,000 house that they bought. They're going to end up paying $400 on this, $400 on this, and $400 on this. And so now big investment people said, "Can I buy those contracts from you?" Well, now these are worth $400,000 a piece, in 30 years from now. And so I tell you what if I give you $200 for them? We'll settle it right here. You give me $200,000 right now? For these are going to be worth $400? Yeah. All right. Steve Miller said, go on. Take the money and run. So now we snatched up. And now I go to all these people to say, you got a 401k? Invest in us, man. We got investments now. Invest, man. We bought some stuff. We have contracts that people are going to be paying double 2.5 times what they were supposed to pay us. Well, Jimmy Walk by Faith loses his job. And they go to repossess the house. And by the time big investment people come down and say, well, we know this house is worth $300,000. They said, no, it's not. It never was. They got a $100,000 house and a piece of paper that promises them $400, but the guy can't pay the $400. The house ain't worth the $200 that they thought it was, and you put all of your retirement in this. But not everybody was in that position. Because there's some companies that said, that's the stupidest thing. We are not putting our money in those fools' contracts. And guess what? The people that were in the position of cash, Wachovia started, whoa. Citigroup said, oh, we got you. We got you. Come on here, have a seat. How much you worth? Sit down. How much you worth? 200 billion? I bet 50 billion would stop that pain though, wouldn't it? It's all right here. Just want you to sign here and initial here. And we'll get all that right now. You just sit here and rest. And then Wells Fargo came over and said, excuse me, Wachovia, don't listen to him. Look, how much he giving you? 50? I'll give you 60. Why? We have cash. And the people with cash swooped in like eagles. Why? They've been waiting on, they've just been sitting back to watch. So Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, he's like, oh, this will be good. Watch this. He calls up Mr. Sachs. Mr. Goldman, Mr. Sachs, how you doing? Yeah, it's Bill. It's Bill Buffett. How you doing? Good. Yeah, I saw that. Wow, yeah. Well, I might be able to help you out. Look, what if I brought you over $6 billion? If I brought you $6 billion, and how would that be? Well, no. It's not really a favor. No, you don't have to appreciate me. What I'm asking for is a third of the control of your company. That's what I'm really looking for. You think you might be able to do that? Okay, no, it's all right. Look, Miss Sachs, don't cry. I got you. Oh, you're praising God. I didn't even know you were born again. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were born again. So now people are buying for pennies on the dollar. For pennies on the dollar. And now the house you had to have 3 years ago is not only less than what it cost before things went crazy, now they're trying to get anybody that can buy it. Anything. Look, man, it was worth $150. The real estate market went crazy. We sold it for $260. You give us $100,000, you can have it. And there's going to be a bunch of people come out of this sitting pretty. Let's talk to a man.